This is my ultimate ICP price forecast, and I believe the internet computer could realistically make a run to an astounding $11,000 per token. Before you dismiss that number as pure fantasy, understand that it's not based on hope, but on a convergence of technological inevitability, updated network metrics, and a market cycle playbook we've seen before. I'm not claiming it will hold that level permanently, but stick with me, because the path to get there is the most critical and controversial story in crypto right now. Guys, 99% of people watching don't subscribe to this channel, so please take a second to hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. This video is created for educational and informational purposes only. It does not promote or endorse any financial product, investment, or cryptocurrency. All information presented here is based on publicly available sources and independent analysis. Viewers are encouraged to conduct their own research before making any financial or technological decisions. First, we absolutely need to understand the past to navigate the future. ICP's launch was brutally defined by extreme price manipulation, a massive orchestrated pump designed to ultimately drain capital from retail investors on the subsequent crash. This chaotic, traumatic introduction served a calculated dual purpose: to enrich early insiders and, quite ironically, to use that resulting price chart to obscure the fact that this is, without question, the most powerful technological breakthrough in the entire blockchain space. The noise was meant to hide the signal. This isn't just another altcoin. It's crypto's missing operating system. That's not a slogan. It's a functional reality. So, what makes me so confident today, especially with recent developments? Let's break it down layer by layer. The internet computer remains the first and only platform enabling genuine full-stack Web3. My entire website, every piece of content, every database entry exists directly on-chain, free from any centralized hosting provider. You can deploy a full-scale social media application or a complex enterprise system, up to 400 GB, directly onto the protocol. Imagine uploading an entire video game or a massive dataset without ever touching Amazon's or Google's servers. This is the fundamental architectural difference that most still ignore. Right now, the vast majority of so-called crypto and DeFi projects are merely front ends hosted on traditional centralized cloud infrastructure. The developers retain ultimate control over the servers, which means your governance tokens often represent a fragile promise, not actual substance. It's a decorative facade on a centralized building. ICP shatters that model completely. It's backed by the largest and most published R&D team in the industry, the dfinity Foundation, with founders and contributors holding hundreds of patents. The cryptographic talent here is unparalleled. So the painful question remains: why was such a revolutionary project introduced alongside a predatory price chart? The answer is to create maximum cynicism and lasting post-traumatic stress in the market, to ensure the average person who doesn't do deep technical research would dismiss it entirely and never look again. It was strategic noise. Now let's look forward with clear eyes. The vast majority of crypto assets are fundamentally flawed for the mass adoption they promise. Bitcoin, as a store of value, cannot scale natively for global transactions. Ethereum, despite its improvements, still becomes prohibitively expensive and slow during network congestion. Its myriad Layer 2 solutions often sacrifice base layer security and still don't achieve true on-chain computation for everything. They are scaling patches. But ICP, it natively integrates Bitcoin and Ethereum through its chain key cryptography, processing their transactions directly on its protocol without insecure bridges. It's already consistently handling thousands of transactions per second, with a computational power and data storage capacity that dwarfs any other smart contract platform. The recent launch of Chain Fusion technology is a monumental update, finally allowing ICP smart contracts to seamlessly hold, transfer, and interact with native Bitcoin and Ethereum assets directly. This isn't future talk. It's live now. So, where does the updated case for an $11,000 target actually come from? It's a mathematical and psychological projection of a perfect, and perhaps inevitable, speculative storm brewing. Think critically about the current landscape. Once a critical mass of investors truly comprehends that ICP possesses not just promise, but live, real utility and enterprise-grade technology with a clear path to decentralizing the actual web, a monumental portfolio shift will occur. Why would you continue to hold a token for a speculative metaverse game, ultimately hosted on AWS, when you can own the foundational protocol token that could replace AWS itself? The mental shift is from betting on applications to owning the infrastructure they must run on. The tokenomics now create a historic powder keg scenario. To use the network for computation or storage, you must burn ICP cycles, permanently removing them from supply. Right now, over 220 million ICP are locked in long-term neurons, with a significant portion staked for 8 years or more. This is a radical structural difference from Bitcoin or Ethereum, where large holders can liquidate billions in value at a moment's notice, capping parabolic moves. ICP is uniquely primed for a historic supply squeeze. When genuine demand surges, from developers building, from enterprises migrating, from speculators FOMOing, the available liquid supply on exchanges is shockingly, algorithmically small. This mechanic can catapult the price to levels that seem unimaginable in a very short period, defying traditional market cap logic. Here's my cynical but data-informed thesis. The same sophisticated market forces that manipulated the price down after launch are likely to orchestrate the next manipulated pump on the way up. They are patient. They'll continue to promote and exit inferior narratives and alternative Layer 1 projects until they've maximized profits across the board. But once ICP's technological momentum becomes undeniable, once major influencers and institutions who've been silent are forced by evidence to acknowledge it, the playbook will violently flip. They will fuel the narrative, leverage derivatives, and push the price to an astronomical, unsustainable peak like $11,000 in a single euphoric green god candle, creating a global headlines, and then exit methodically, leaving a new generation of retail buyers holding the bag at the top. This isn't hope or conspiracy. It's a repeated pattern I've observed across market cycles for a decade. So the vital question is, what's a rational personal strategy in this environment? Let me be explicitly clear. This is not financial advice. It's my educational perspective based on this analysis. My approach is twofold. First, I am accumulating ICP consistently and patiently at prices I deem below its long-term utility value, which I currently see as under $100. I view any entry below that level as a strategic opportunity to build a core position. Second, once my principal position is built, I plan to stake the vast majority of my tokens in long-term neurons indefinitely, participating in governance. My exit strategy is not to sell the principal, but the yield. If the price exceeds my $100 baseline, I will systematically sell only the staking rewards generated, never the principal itself. This way, I participate in the speculative upside while maintaining perpetual exposure to the long-term vision, like collecting rent on a piece of foundational internet infrastructure. Don't just buy the hype. You must strive to understand the machine beneath it. If ICP reaches $1,000 or even touches my $11,000 extreme scenario, I'll still be collecting and selling the network rewards. If it corrects harshly afterwards, my core stack remains untouched, still staking. My primary goal is to establish my position before the mainstream narrative catches fire, because once it does, the rational accumulation window slams shut. History shows many will likely FOMO in at $500 or $1,000, dazzled by charts and headlines, only to be exposed to the brutal volatility of the subsequent distribution phase and bear market. The Internet Computer Protocol is a genuine technological marvel poised to redefine the architecture of our online world. Its price journey, however, will be a separate volatile roller coaster shaped by archaic market mechanics and primal human psychology. I believe we will see a sustained re-rating into triple digits this cycle, and a fleeting, explosive touch of a price in the thousands is within the realm of distinct possibility due to the unprecedented supply lockup and burning mechanics. The updates in 2024, from chain fusion to massive neuron locks, have only tightened the spring. If you find this deep dive into the future of decentralized technology valuable, support this channel. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.